She said I didn't care about family, so I showed the receipts. The air in the steakhouse felt heavy with expensive butter and my sister Sarah's laugh, just a little too loud. It was Mom's 65th birthday, the kind of milestone that summons the entire Florida clan like a mandatory reunion nobody dares skip. I'd flown in from Seattle, 3,000 miles, knowing my role hadn't changed. I was still the family's favorite cautionary tale. The son who moved away. The one who chased money instead of memories. Sarah leaned back, swirling her Chardonnay like she owned the place. It's so good of Mark to join us, she said sweetly. Must be exhausting taking a break from changing the world at that tech firm while I'm here taking Mom to therapy every Tuesday. The table laughed on cue. Uncle Jim wheezed. Dad nodded approvingly. To them, Sarah was the saint. I was the distant, cold son who forgot where he came from. They didn't know about the envelope in my laptop bag. I'd been carrying it for 7 months. Last winter, Sarah called me sobbing. She'd lost her job, then her investments. She was 2 weeks from losing the house Mom and Dad bragged about to neighbors. She begged me not to tell them. Dad's heart can't handle this, she cried. So I wired $42,000 to her mortgage lender. Quietly. I paid for her emergency car repair. I told her it was a gift, not a loan, with one condition, keep the peace. But peace was never enough for Sarah. She needed applause. As the appetizers cleared, she smiled at me again. Maybe if you spent less time on stocks and more time with family, you'd know Mom doesn't like lilies anymore. The table erupted. Mom gave me that familiar disappointed look, the one that asked why I couldn't be more like my sister. Something inside me snapped. I reached down, pulled out the folder, and slid a notarized document across the white tablecloth until it stopped in front of Dad. That's the deed release for Sarah's house, I said. Calmly. And the wire receipts from my selfish bank account to her creditors. Total, $48,612. The silence that followed rang in my ears. Dad adjusted his glasses. His face shifted from confusion to shock to a deep, furious red. Sarah's drained of all color. She looked like she might faint. Mark, what is this? Mom whispered. It's the reason Sarah still has a roof, I said, meeting my sister's eyes. I did it because I love you. Because she's my sister. But I'm done being the villain in a story I'm literally funding. Nobody spoke. Even the servers stayed away like they sensed the tension. I stood, placed a $100 bill beside my plate, and slid the folder back into my bag. Happy birthday, Mom. The lilies are from me, by the way. Sarah just forgot to sign the card. I walked out into the humid Florida night without looking back. My phone started vibrating before I reached the parking lot. Mom called first. Then Dad. Then a message from Sarah. I'm sorry. I didn't respond. For 15 years, I'd played the quiet role. The reliable one. The one who absorbed the jokes, the looks, the comparisons. I told myself it didn't matter because I knew the truth. But the truth has weight. And carrying it alone gets heavy. That night, for the first time, I set it down in the middle of the table for everyone to see. The silence I left behind wasn't uncomfortable anymore. It was honest. And as I drove away, windows down, warm air rushing in, I realized something I hadn't felt in years. I could finally breathe. Thanks for watching the videos.